Hey, Assalamu alaikum. So we're about halfway through Ramadan at this point, and it's usually around this time that we start experiencing something called the Mid-Ramadan blues. So what exactly are the Mid-Ramadan blues? Well, it's an emotional experience that brings about, feelings of anxiety. You feel really anxious. You feel overwhelmed. You feel, there's a sense of underachievement. And this is because of mainly two reasons. The first being that, all of a sudden you realize, hey, time is slipping away. It's going by so quickly and there's so much I want to accomplish. I want to reap the benefits of Ramadan. And the second is perhaps, prior to Ramadan, you had a lofty Ramadan goal list and now you're finding, hey, I'm really off the mark. I don't think I'll be able to accomplish it. So this brings us to the concept of time. Every individual in the world has access to the same amount of time in a day. We only get 24 hours in a day. Yet what sets apart the successful individuals is how they utilize their time. Because the truth is, the way we spend our days is in fact the way we end up spending our lives. So the question becomes, how are we actually utilizing that time? So the value of time in Islam, it's beautifully explained by this quote by Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, and he says, wasting time is actually worse than death, because death, it only separates us from this world. But wasting time, it separates us from Allah, subhanAllah. The way we spend our time directly determines what our station will be with Allah. So we understand the importance of time, particularly in this blessed month of Ramadan, where, we really want to maximize our potential and we want to maximize all our good deeds. But the thing is, none of that's going to be possible if we're not in the right headspace. So the first thing I want you to do is take a deep breath. Enjoy all the rich oxygen from these lush trees. And once you've recovered from my corny joke, let's move on to the exercise. So we're going to do an exercise together. And the purpose of this exercise is to help you focus and to help you cultivate clarity in terms of how much time you actually have and what you want to accomplish during that time. So let's get started. I want you to grab a piece of paper, something, or wherever you want to take notes. And the first step is I want you to list all your daily tasks and responsibilities. So these are all the things that you must be doing in order to function as a human being, in order to be functioning in society, all the responsibilities that you have, if it's taking care of your children, going to work, etc. Everything that you must be doing, I want you to jot it all down. So things like sleeping, personal hygiene, fard salah, food prep, eating, commuting, work, etc. Next, I want you to allocate the amount of time it takes for you to complete everything that you've listed. So, for example, I've just taken all of the things that we talked about in step 1 and added allocated time. And then I want you to total up the amount of time that you're spending on all of these activities. And step 3 is for you to calculate. This is the part. I want you to calculate how much free time do you actually have in one given day, because that will help you set smart goals. It'll help you set realistic, achievable goals during the month of Ramadan, and then you won't feel guilty, right? Like you'll know exactly, okay, this is how much time I have. I cannot physically do more than this, because the Prophet ﷺ even said, make sure you're giving each aspect of your life its haqq. It's right. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your soul, you're taking care of your, the people around you. So now the question becomes, what do you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to accomplish, let's say, in those 2 hours, right? Given the example that we went through there, 24 minus 22, you have 2 hours left over. And you want to ask yourself, okay, what is it that what is the best way for me to utilize those 2 hours so that I can come closer to Allah Azza wa Jal? And then the other thing is, you don't want to place all your eggs in one basket. Even your worship, you want it to be balanced, right? So these are some 3 categories that I came up. You'll probably come up with something else. But things like personal ibadah, focusing on your qiyam, dhikr and dua, and being in seclusion with Allah Azza wa Jal. And the second is Islamic knowledge, right? Learning more about the Quran, trying to memorize, trying to fix your recitation. And then lastly, helping others, going out of your way to volunteer or to help other people. And it's really important to be balanced in that sense because you aren't always inhaling, right? You need to exhale as well. Or you aren't always exhaling. You need to be inhaling as well. So we need that balance. Now, I want to talk to you about something called apparent versus hidden time. So in the example that we went through, you had 2 hours, right, that were free time. That's your apparent time, apparent free time. But then you also have something called what I call the hidden free time. So let's go through that a bit more. So let's come back to this example, and what I want you to do is go through each activity and ask yourself, how can I level up this activity? How can I incorporate some form of worship? Can I put on a lecture in the background? Can I be doing dhikr? How can I be in a state of worship while I'm doing all these other daily tasks so that I can really level it up? And the second thing I want to talk to you about is the concept of niyyah. It's the concept of intention. The Prophet ﷺ said that every action is based on intention. So any action that you're committing, any permissible action that you're performing, if you make the correct intention, that action can actually become a form of worship. Did you know that your sleep can actually be a form of worship? You can literally be worshiping for 7 hours if you make the right intention. So if you intend, Ya Allah, I intend to rest my body so I can worship you better. There you go. So one way of purposefully cultivating intention and sincerity is by simply stopping for a moment when you're switching between activities and asking yourself this question. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Call yourself by your name. Sidra, why am I doing this? And the answer should always be to seek the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. You're going to do this activity anyways, but if you just take a moment and reflect on it, then you can set your intention and make that action a form of worship, inshallah. One thing I really I want you to stop doing is comparing yourself to other people. When you do this, it takes away the energy and the focus from your own growth and contribution, and you start sulking and looking at other people, and it takes away that energy that you could use to grow yourself, right? And you have to realize everyone is on their own journey. They're moving at a different speed, at a different rate than you are. If you see someone that has something good, make dua for them, right? Make dua that Allah increases them in their good. And you have to realize that Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who gave them that gift. So don't be jealous of the one who has the gift, but rather turn to Allah Azza wa Jal, because if He can bestow that gift upon that individual, then certainly if you ask with the right intention, Allah will grant you too. So turn to Allah and focus on your own growth. So while I want you to stop comparing, I want you to start doing this one thing, and that's gratitude. Be thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal, right? Be thankful for all that you have, all that you've accomplished. At the end of the day, don't say, oh, I've only done this much. No, say, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, thank you. Thank you for giving me the ni'mah, the blessing, and the tawfiq, the ability to do what I have done today. When you thank Allah, your chest opens up and you find that you have more barakah in your time. And it places you in the right mindset, right? When you're in the mindset of gratitude, things are not scarce anymore, right? Things are more abundant. And when you thank Allah Azza wa Jal, you come closer to Him. And Allah loves those that are constantly thanking Him. So no matter what state you're in, no matter where you are right now, I want you to approach it in a state of gratitude. Try to find something to be grateful for and focus on that, inshallah. And one more thing that I want you to cultivate, inshallah, is the concept of sincerity. Do not be focused on quantity. Focus on quality. Don't be obsessed about the number of rakats you're going to pray or how much you're going to recite, etc. Yes, it's good to have goals, but be more focused on the quality. Be more focused on the sincerity. Be more focused on coming closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you do this, you'll find, when your primary objective is just coming closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, rather than check mark, I did this, I did that, I did this, okay, done, I did all of these things today. No, I want you to search for just one sajda, one sujood that might weigh more heavily than any of your other good deeds. Focus on quality and coming closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. And lastly, you got this, right? You got this. You're going to kill it. You're going to do amazing. Expect good from Allah Azza wa Jal, and you will receive good. Step up and do as much that you are capable of doing, your specific situation will allow you to do, and everything else, make the right intention and convert that into worship, and you will completely kill it. Like, you will be awesome. So go in with that kind of mindset. So in summary, we talked about the mid-Ramadan blues, the anxieties and worries associated with it. We went through an exercise to figure out our apparent free time and our hidden free time. And we talked about the concept of turning all of our daily tasks into a form of worship. We said one thing we're going to avoid is comparing ourselves to others. And the two things that we are going to cultivate are gratitude and also coming closer to Allah through sincerity and quality rather than quantity. If anything benefited you, or if you want to hear similar reminders in the future, or if you just want to get in touch, then show me some love and go ahead and like, subscribe. What else is there? Follow, share, etc. At Optimal Health, Mind, Body, and Soul. We're all on platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And inshallah, please keep me in your duas. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.